We're now here in that segment that pays tribute to the country's entrepreneurs, and our BNL team found a unique product that a young entrepreneur has launched in the Philippine market. You will find this very interesting because it is unique and, as far as we know, the very first here at home.
Nico Moreno graduated from De La Salle University with a degree in physics with specialization in mathematical science. That is definitely an area that is not as popular as they say, computer science or any such current courses. When Nico graduated in 2013, he first joined a multinational company that is into food, a far cry actually from what he studied in school. So it probably wasn't a surprise to his family and friends that Nico spent only 2 years in this company before he took a leap of faith and went into business for himself.
Well, basically my inspirations were, first and foremost, how you can actually make an impact using the time that you have. No? I was in corporate, yes. For some people, it's really for them. But for me, I felt that I wanted something different. I wanted, the excitement of being in business, being in physics, and growing up as well. No? I find very much thrill in the unknown and trying to make both ends meet or trying to solve problems that you don't have answers to. How do you start with an idea and probably convert it to something very tangible? Like from a business idea, how can you make it to a success? Things like that. Those things excite me, Ever since grade school, I was already, you can say, an entrepreneur. Growing up with some financial difficulties, of course, there was that inspiration and that motivation or that drive that really pushed me, to my limits and to learn the things that I don't know.
Nico is clearly not your average student. He is more analytical than most and delves deeper into his own psyche.
When you're maybe in the pure sciences field, you find enjoyment in knowing the things that you know and knowing the things that you don't know. And that pushes you further to try to find out the things you need to do in order to know the things that you don't know. And for me, I find fulfillment in that.
That was the start of Nico's venture into entrepreneurship. But topping the list of his preferences is to make any venture that he goes into relevant to his being a Filipino. He wanted to create a brand that is relevant to the Filipino, which is why he chose the name Ibarra. The Filipino, Nico says, has sophistication and style, but he also has a lot of substance and heart. There are many good things about the Filipino, Nico says, and he wanted to showcase these when he created the Ibarra watch. But how did he get started on watches? Nico has been fascinated with watches for some 3 years now and even went into watch collecting. He soon realized, though, that this was a very expensive hobby. 3 years is too short to know everything about watches, but the seeds of his fascination were planted in college with his physics and engineering courses. Creating movement, according to Nico, is a testament to how creative we can be in terms of technology and expressing it in a product that you create. There has never really been a Filipino watch brand in the past, one that can compete in the global market. So Nico went with his big dream to make this a reality.
We have a lot of Filipinos, especially abroad. If you can win the Filipino market, you can also win the global market. And for me, that's what I believed in. And when you talk about watches, which eventually I did fall in love with, I was a watch collector for a while, but then I thought to myself, I kept on spending money already on a lot of watches. I had a lot of watches. And I said, if I still continue doing this, I would spend so much money on watches already. So that's when I found out that there's not really a brand in the market yet that can actually make that mark.
No one else has done this, but then anything that is difficult to pull off is what makes Nico excited. We asked Nico about his investments into Ibarra Watches.
It's not cheap to start a watch business, it's probably several millions, you know. And coming from my background, I did mention we had some financial difficulties growing up, you know. Working in corporate for 2 years won't get you that capital, no. It's about, you know, being able to share that dream, that movement you want to build, no, you know, the business that you want to build, and share it with others, so that they hopefully they would want to support and be part of the dream that you're trying to build, you know. Because at the end of the day, what I always tell people is that let's make history, let's be the first. It's my role, of course, as the founder, you know, is to really resonate that vision, that the goal exists, you know. Even though you've taken just the first step and you have 999 more steps to go, you have to keep on telling people, you keep on telling yourself that the goal is there.
And this is where the business has brought him. The watches are simple, without any frills. They sport clean lines, look businesslike, and very efficient and sturdy. Nico also has good merchandising in his various stores, taking extra care to mount good displays of his products.
My initial target market, of course, were, one, Filipinos, no? Young professionals, people who are capable of spending for quality timepieces that can, you know, that they can treat as investments as well, no? That's why when I created the brand, no, if you want to create a brand, you have to see things long term, no? You have to see it existing for, say, what makes a brand last for, say, 50 years, say 100 years.
The parts are sourced from abroad, specifically Switzerland, Hong Kong, and Japan. The watches are assembled here by a team of local technicians.
We're also trying to enter that particular channel wherein we can actually cater to custom-made watches, personalized watches. You know, in the long term, that would really add value, especially when you partner with people, with companies who share the same values as you do.
There are ready-to-buy watches available in any of their stores, but they can also personalize or customize watches according to your needs or preferences.
We currently have an ongoing collaboration with a designer from Cebu, and we're going to be using interesting materials. I can't say it yet, no, but watch out for it. Probably it's going to be coming out in the latter of March or early April. And after that, we're going to be having several pieces released in June or July. It's currently in the process of prototyping. We're prototyping on those pieces. You know, it takes about 7 months, 7 to 8 months, in really thinking about, you know, a piece and trying to get it into production, assembly, and everything, and release it to the market.
Nico and his company will continue to join local conventions to promote the brand this year and sell his original models, while his prototypes for the new models are still being developed. There is still a lot of work to do, but Nico believes that he has hurdled the big blocks.
The start was very difficult to start, but eventually, after a year of being in the market, I'm starting to gain reach. I'm starting to be able to meet a lot of people interested in the brand and helping out the brand. And of course, there are people out there who also believe in brands like Ibarra, such as Talas Manileño. I mean, Talas Manileño has been very supportive ever since the start, and they played a very big role, And I guess it's a perfect time for Filipinos to help each other, to cater to each other as well, because I guess it's the Filipinos' time.
Indeed, many entrepreneurs are finding a new sense of pride in the Filipinos. To the would-be entrepreneurs, here's Nico's advice.
Find something that you're really passionate about. That's what. And as soon as you find that thing that you're passionate about, you have to think of a way, or think of the possibilities, or if it's feasible to actually make it into a business or turn into a business. As soon as you find that, you have to fill in the gaps. I'd say it again, what are the things that you know, or what are the skills you have, you acquired, what are the things you don't know, and you have to have that drive to find out the things that you don't know, so you can make things happen. So at the end of the day, it's like a physics equation. You're given a problem, and you have to find an answer, but there's no equation given to you. You have to create that equation.
And last but not least, always try to think Filipino. This means buy Filipino and support the Filipino products to ensure our own country's inclusive growth.
I'm inviting everyone to check out Ibarra Watches. We're at Talas Manileño here, actually here in Cubao Expo. We're at Philippine Sons, all branches. Yeah, BGC, Chino Roses, El Pueblo, Real de Manila, and Salcedo. And as well, we're also in To The Nines Lifestyle Store in Maginhawa. And we're also in Bonsit Social Barbershop in Aguirre, Parañaque. Apart from that, you can also visit our website at www.ibarrawatches.com. We're also available at lazada.com.ph and zalora.com.ph. So you can follow us on Facebook. Just type Ibarra Watches. We're also on Instagram. Please do follow us. Thank you very much.
That was Ibarra Watches, our very own Filipino watch brand that is now available in so many stores and even online. So check it out in the store nearest you.